there. Happy Saturday. Well, I'm in the shed today. I was going to try and do something, but I'm not having a good day with my back, which is about half of the course for the rest of the week, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm feeling very drab and dreary today. I decided to put on my new dress. I don't know why I bought it. To be truthful, it makes me feel mumsy, drab, dreary. You probably like it, if you like subtle colours, but I just don't. I just don't like it. It's not me, as they say. It isn't me at all. I'll carry on wearing it for the rest of the day, but I hope it doesn't reflect on my mood for the rest of the day. If I'm dressed in something I don't particularly like, or it's dreary to me, I feel dreary. This is making me feel very dreary. I know loads of people are going to say, oh, but it's lovely, Janet. Oh, but it's lovely. It's just my colours. Ain't mine. Yeah. Anyway, I'm in the shed. I thought I'd look up some of the shawls that I will be trying to put on for sale whenever I get my Ko-fi, my web page, my whatever. This one is done in all shades of greys. It's a big, 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 big shawl. Big shawl. I know perhaps it's not the right season to be wearing a shawl, but I was watching a programme about charity shopping, and they were saying buy out of season, because that is when you get the bargains if you buy out of season. If you wait until they're in season, then they're either not there or the price is twice as much. Not that my prices will be going up because of the season, and I'm struggling with coat hanger. This one, perhaps I could wear this to liven up this outfit, yeah? This is a sort of semicircular shawl that comes with a matching hat. Matching hat. Semicircular. It's lovely colourful, isn't it? Beautiful colours. Woo-wee! What nice colours. Yeah, perhaps I could put that on. It's actually a bit warm today. Shh, don't tell anybody. Otherwise they'll turn off the tap. It's actually, like I say, a bit warm. Well, warmer, not warm. Not warm as in 90 degrees as in some people. Oh, they're all falling off. That's the trouble. They're heavy, these shawls, when they're all together. This one is done in all different shades of blue. It's sort of like gradient, is it? Graduated, whatever. This one is a very fine one. Very fine. But it's different shades, varying from paler up to deeper at the top. It was one of those variegated cakes. But this one is very, very lightweight, this one. Very lightweight indeed. No, shame blue doesn't go with what I'm wearing. Never mind. Right. Oh, dearie me. This one was again one of those gradient graduated cakes. It's very nice. It's got a tassel at the bottom. Doodle-doo-doo-doo. It varies from grey up to beige, up to cream and up to lemon. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Now this one is really, really, really unusual. It was an ice yarn, and when I bought it I thought, what on earth am I going to make with it? But it's made a very, very unusual shawl. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It's got other bits of ribbon dangling off it. Very unusual. I don't know whether something caught me eye. It was a bird. And it's got the cream edging. Cream edging. Why do I always go the wrong way with this camera? It's beautiful. If you can see all the dangle bits on it. All the dangly ribbon bits. Very, very unusual. Yeah. That would liven a festival up, wouldn't it? And the last one I've got to show you at the minute was again made with another of the gradient graduated cakes of yarn. This one is a large one. It is large as well. Very large. It's done in the, what was the stitch called? Oh God, I've made so many of them. It'll come to me in a minute. Everybody made these shawls. But this one has come out really, really huge. But it's nice if you like greens and you like sort of lilac-y grey. Very pretty, very pretty. I will be trying to put them on a mannequin and try to sell them at some stage in my life, yeah. Well, I did get some more patterns out, but I'm not hauling a great big... Oh! People have suggested I took them out of the folder, which would have took me forever to undo each one, take the folder out, so I decided against that, yeah. So I went looking in my box of patterns, yeah. Alright, that one is done in Candy Twist. It was an Aran. That's an old Sirdar pattern. I've got some there printed out that don't have pictures, which is a great help, isn't it, when you're looking through them, Janet? Yes. This one's out of a magazine again, a draped top. A lot of these are, you know, what you can find anywhere. If you go on Etsy, if you go on Ravelry, if you go on Pinterest, you can find all these things. This one's a King Cole double knit one, 2511. I haven't done any of these, I don't know why I bought them. This one, another King Cole one, 2510. Same section of patterns. At least with these, a lot of them are not in folders, so you can at least see them a little bit better. That one is from a long, long time ago. That's a knitted one. It's an Aran hat, scarf, mittens, I presume, yeah. That's a Lister's pattern. This one is very, very basic. It's a Hayfield chunky. Cardigans, buttoned up, V-neck, done in chunky for all family. 22 to 44. 4205. Basic patterns are good because you can put your own stitches to them or whatever. I did make this one many, many moons ago. It's a Richard Poppleton who's long, long gone now. And I did it in the brush chunky. I think I did the V-neck one, if I'm not mistaken. Again, it's knitted, it's not a crochet. This one I have made many, many times. It's done in Aran. It's knitted, and it looks very complicated, but it's actually done with slip stitches. You know, you slip in the stitches to make that lovely sort of Fair Isle looking pattern. That's a very, very easy pattern to do. Oh gosh, these are so old. I think these are probably my mum's patterns. Small socks of Peyton's wool. It is Peyton's, by the way. Sheila is right. It's not patterns, it's Peyton's. Our representative from Peyton's used to call it Peyton's, and so did all the people who worked at Peyton's. So it's not patterns, it's Peyton's. 3-ply socks for children. I don't think I ever actually made any socks for my son when he was little. Probably wouldn't have kept them on. He was a barefoot kind of child, you know. There seems to be another pattern in here as well. Oh gosh, this is even older. This is probably one my mum made for my dad. Socks in Nylox. Oh, those were the days. Nylox was a sock yarn. It had a percentage of nylon in it, so they called it Nylox. And it's a pattern for men's socks. These Peyton's bands are like gold dust, honestly they are. They're so lovely. Put it back in its little folder. One day I may have a man sent it to sock for. Doubt it. This is one of the first books I did learn how to crochet with, and it's still going, would you believe? Still going. First Steps in Crochet. Mine was 15p, which was 3 shillings. And it has quite a lot of patterns inside it. And it did help me. This is how I learned. There was no YouTube, there was no visual aids, there was no anything. All you got was pictures like that, where you were supposed to understand. Surprisingly enough, I did actually manage to crochet. But this is done in the English version, of course. It's done in double crochets, which is US single crochet, and it's done in trebles, which is US double crochet. Don't ask me why, I do not know. And it's got certain little patterns in. I think if I ever made any out of them. It's got a beret and mats and things in there. Oh yes, as if you wouldn't want to make your daddy a tie or your husband a tie. You know, that could be something you want to do. Sorry I have to keep wetting my fingers, but my fingers are dead at the end, so if I don't wet them I don't get any purchase on them to turn pages. Blankets or afghans for your house. Everything is in black and white except the front cover. Oh, I did make that. I don't know why it's ripped out of the book, but I did make that one. 4-ply. I don't know why it's ripped out of the page. I don't usually vandalise my books, so. And baby patterns, which are very, very... That's the kind of baby things people used to make back in the day. Matinee jackets, not all these denims and Converse trainers, yeah. This one is knitted, I think. It looks very crochet, but I think it's knitted. It's King Cole Oasis, it says. 3029. I think it's knitted. To give the impression of crochet, of course. These are so old, 9D. I made them many, many times for my son. Just a basic cardigan. And of course I made him that one before he was born. That bonnet is fabulous. Really fabulous, that bonnet. Babies used to wear little pram suits back in the day. You know, I doubt anybody, if you made a pair of leggings, I don't think any modern mothers would know what to do with them. They say, are they tights? What are they? This one, I think Sheila's actually made this pattern as well. This is a teddy pattern. I've made that many, many times. A lot of these patterns are, as like I said, still available if you look online. This one's, when I say not that old, when I say not that old, I mean in the last 5 years, yeah. This one is crochet, it's a Hayfield one. It's birth to 7 years, and it's got a little hooded crochet cardigan, and one's got buttons, one doesn't have buttons, one just pulls over the top like a bit of a sweatshirt. This one is purchased from Annie's Crochet. It's called Cresting Waves Tunic. I used to buy a lot of patterns online from Annie's. I don't know whether you've ever been online and found her patterns or their patterns. Annie's, I don't know why it's not stapled together. That is dangerous, Janet. You're going to lose half of the pages if you haven't stapled them together. You know, I'm not very clever in these departments, yeah. Oh, there's one that's stapled together. I presume that's all the same pattern. We'll presume it is. Port Orange Pullover. Again, this is another one of Annie's. I decided not to do that because it had very, very long raglans. You know, they sort of came all the way down, and I thought it's a bit like a penguin, you know. That's another reason why I'm not keen on top-down ones, unless you're very careful, is you do tend to get your armholes a bit long, and it's like a penguin. That's a striped bag. I've made something very similar to that. That one is by Linda Lands, a Pierrot yarn pattern, obviously an online one. This one's Serdar again, includes larger sizes. It's crochet. That's a Serdar one, which is 8079. I don't know whether I told you, if you go on Serdar's webpage, there is a heading at the top that says, I think it says Heritage. And if you click on that, you can buy PDF patterns ranging back from the 1950s up to modern day. And they send them to you via the email. So if you want a Serdar pattern, that is the place to look. You know, you don't have a Serdar stockist, or if your stockist has got minimal amounts of patterns in crochet, which they do tend to do. They tend to heavily feature on the knitting and not the crochet. This one is an Ice Queen inspired hat. I think I bought this when I was thinking of making one for the, you know, the Elsa hats and stuff. This one's from the Crochet Cupboard. I never made it for, it was for my niece's little girl, but I never made it. Oh gosh, we're going into hats here now. That's hats and more hats. I don't think we'll bother with the hats, unless you're into hats. Easy ribbed hat. She looks a bit startled, doesn't she, the mannequin, but Amanda Franklin, that one's from. Feel free, whatever, you can do whatever you want with the items made from this pattern. You can gift them, or you can sell them. That's nice of her, isn't it? Usually they say, don't use my pattern, don't do this, don't do that. This one is a very old one. It's speed knits. You did them on whopping huge needles, and you knitted several strands of everything together. I don't know whether you ever speed knitted anything. Unfortunately, as you wore it and washed it, it tended to speed drop. So, you know, you finished up with it round your knees somewhere. That's another one, another speed knit. Oh, they were very quick, very easy to do. But they did tend to finish up as a dress rather than a sweater. This one I bought, never made. It was made to, you can make this and give it. It doesn't say you can sell it, although I don't know how she can copyright it because it's dead easy, isn't it? You know, you've seen many of them on YouTube, haven't you? Many different variations of this. This one is by Jennifer Smith at yahoo.com. So, oh, this is a very old pattern, but I bought it recently. Crochet hats. They're done doubled. You do like a lacy top bit, like a lattice bit, and then you do a lining underneath. So they would be nice and warm if you made it large enough to pull over the ears. Oh, more hats and more hats. We'll leave the hats, shall we? This one's, again, I bought this recently, well, fairly recently, although it's an old pattern. Robin double knitting. As I say, search on Etsy, you will find all kinds of things on Etsy. Oh, and that's the end of the All Shawl by Doris Chan. I have made so many of those All Shawls. So easy to do. And it's a free pattern, I believe. It's still on Ravelry, I think. It's called Doris Chan's All Shawl. I don't think I've got any at the moment. I don't have any. But I've made many. They were great if you got asked to do something, you know, quick for a raffle or something like that. Grey striped sweater to fit a small dog. That must have been when I was considering making one for the late Gigi. It certainly wouldn't fit our fat-bellied, well, she's not fat-bellied, barrel-chested. She's a French bulldog, yeah. Oh my goodness, this is a magazine with a blast from the past. Sandra magazine. The one I made out of this, you may have seen me wear it. Actually, it is a gorgeous pattern. And they are still selling it on Etsy as a single pattern when I find it. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. There. I've got that one, and it is absolutely lovely. It's done. Beautifully done. And it is. I've definitely seen that one for sale on Etsy. Oh, somebody's going woo, 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 woo outside now. I think it's a drill. Or, you know when they're putting screws in? I've made that one I made quite a lot of these boleros at one time, or bolero if you want to do them. It's a V-lace shrub by Rachel Choi. When I was selling things, I did make quite a lot. And I've actually got that one for sale in grey. That one. It's not one I'm going to reduce because it was done in organic cotton, and it took me forever to make it on a very tiny hook. So there is no way I'm going to sell that cheaper. I've got that one made up in white for sale. Yeah, that sweater pattern. That one's probably, again, an Etsy pattern. Flirty top. It's it goes up to extra large actually as well, but extra large to them is 44 bust. So depends what you call extra large. But I do have that in white for sale on my rail if you're interested. Sassy Love Crochet. This is another very ancient book, 18p. Teach Yourself Crochet Easy with Robin. I mean, once again we've got the lovely tie for Daddy. The headband and the collar I suppose would be useful. I made that out of this. Sadly it didn't look quite as nice on me as it did on her, but you know, you always think things are going to look lovely. It does also come in a long version as well. It's done sideways and then you lace it up the side if I remember rightly. But it sort of jutted out, it didn't look right on me. And I think I made the cardigan many moons ago. Yeah. So we shall see what we shall see. Let's have another look. Oh, I made this one. This one is really pretty. Again, it's an online bought pattern called the Flaming Feathers. I think you do it sideways, and I think that the edging is done at the same time. I know Sue made one, and I'm sure I made one as well. Flaming Feathers is called. Oh, I made that one many moons ago, again in a brush chunky. That was a Serdar pattern. What is it? 7292. Oh goodness, I made that for myself, made it for my son, made it for half of his friends because they all thought it was super trendy, and it was a Peyton's pattern in chunky. And my son had it in those colours, the black and the, you know, the green and the red, and he wore that. He didn't often wear any of my hand knits, but he did wear that one. 8522 is a Peyton's one, but probably not. But it was lovely. It was very colourful and very lovely. Yeah. Promise in the Sun. Another Peyton's book. Lots of designs on it. I think I did start the blue jacket on the front cover, but for some reason I never actually finished it. If I started things and didn't quite like them, I never finished them. I didn't just leave them. I used to repurpose. And this one is knitted, but it's knitted, I think he knitted the yarn double. So it was a very quick make. It was a Serdar pattern. Very quick to make. Oh, this one I made a few times, but I didn't put the polo on it. But it was very pretty. You did embroidered little daisies at the top, you can see. That was an emu pattern. I don't know, it's a lacy. And it was done in a yarn called Mystique. It looked a bit mohairy, but it wasn't, because it didn't itch me, which, yeah. And that one, I actually think I've still got that one somewhere in my collection. Not to sell, I mean my own. I think I've still got it somewhere. That one. If I look about my old patterns. This one I made when I lived at home with my mum. And I made it in yellow. And I was only about 16. And my mum, it was in Cortel, and I was so proud of it, and I made it, and I thought it was lovely. And my mum put it in hot water by accident, and it just warped out of all shape and size. I was heartbroken. One of the only times I had a really flaming row with my mum over that. Really This one says you can make 2 in a day. Now, come on, girls and boys. I don't think we can, but anyway, that's what it says. You can make 2 of these in one day. It's in double knitting. It's only for a 34 to 38 inch plus, so sorry girls, if you're a bit bigger than that, you're not in this. Number 3s and number 7s, that's the old, it's 6.5 and 4.5 needles, yeah. And it's done in double knitting. Well, I must have a try to see if I can do 2 in one day. I doubt that very much, don't you? This one, I think I've still got this one. I think somebody asked me which pattern I'd use. I think I still got it, but I didn't do the pom-pom buttons. But I'm sure I've still got that. I think it's in green. When I said to you, I've used a vintage pattern. This is what I mean when I say a vintage pattern. This one I have still got. It's in green, green and brown, and it's quite thick. I should have done it in a finer yarn. But this is in an Emu Mystique book. And I did make that for my mum. She did like her waistcoat, or vests as you call them in America. She did like it. I think I made her that one as well. I used to make a lot of waistcoats for my mum. Because, you know, even though she did crochet, she didn't know a pattern very well. Yeah. Oh, those are those knotted bracelet things. I made a load of those once. You know, you pin them on a cushion, then you sort of do knots, don't you, to do them. I think I made the one in the middle, the one that's blue and lilac. In fact, I made a lanyard for work one time. Oh, this one again, it's a Peyton's one. I have made many moons ago. I did make that white one there, and I did actually make the green one there, but never wore it because I was a bit big busted and I couldn't wear a bra under it. When I tried it on, it was just too, no, we're not going there. Yeah, so that was it. That's the only ones I made. They're knitted or crocheted, but I did make the white one. I don't know what happened to it. It's long gone, long gone. This one's quite a modern one, actually. Serdar Silky Look 5539. I haven't made it, but I think you'd still be able to get that one. This one is knitted. I have got it in pale green. I think it's pale green, a mink brown colour and a white. But I put long sleeves in mine. That's a Serdar pattern, it's knitted. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I've still got a few that I could have shown you. That one's another older one, Emu. 36 to 43. Yeah, that's that one. But this was a lot easier because I actually sort of, you know, used the ones that were loose, that weren't in folders like those. That's a lot better than that, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed looking at that. That one I have got in pink, so it's still a modern pattern. Kinko 4494. I've got it in my. You haven't seen me wear it because it's never been warm enough to wear a short sleeve. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go now. I don't know whether to change out this drab dress. It's just not me at all. I can see this finishing up on eBay. Yeah, it's not doing anything for me. I'm going to try and tidy up in the shed, but I doubt that happening very much. Anyway, I'll see you later on the live at 9 o'clock UK time if you're in England, Ireland, Wales, wherever. See you later. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, tell all your friends. Bye for now.